Frankfurt are leading West Ham 2-1 after that first leg. This time, West Ham go over there, don't they, to Eintracht Frankfurt? So that one was at the London Stadium. Would West Ham fans be happy with their season if they finish outside the top six and don't reach the Europa League final? That is the question. Do you think they will be?
I think it's been a great run for West Ham. I really do. I think they've enjoyed every single European trip. They like going abroad. It hasn't happened for quite a while. So I think it's been a very good season, if I'm being honest. West Ham, they've been trying to compete for that top four as well. It's always very difficult because the squad isn't the biggest. And if you do get a couple of key injuries, then you're going to struggle. Where other teams in the top four, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, got bigger squads, and if they get a couple of injuries, they can deal with it. So I think most West Ham fans will be delighted how it's all going. But there's still a long way to go in their season as well. I mean, that's why David Moyes probably put a pretty strong side out against Arsenal, because he's thinking, well, if we can beat Arsenal, then we've still got that sixth place, which gets a European football next year, which is very important for the club. But they've got to believe they can beat Frankfurt away and get to that final. If they can, then it'd be a magnificent season, wouldn't it? To get into a final of a big competition with some good teams in, by the way. Europa League, you forget a lot of Champions League clubs drop down into it. So it's not. It's a real hard trophy to win. If they can do it, it'd be a magnificent season. But what a night Thursday for West Ham fans. I'm sure they'll go out there in force, big crowd. Be an electric atmosphere, because Frankfurt, I've talked to quite a few people who do German football. They said their fans are fanatical. They're really noisy. So I'm sure it'd be a brilliant night. And let's hope West Ham can turn up and get the result they need, because they didn't really play well in that first leg. I think they can play a lot better. So if they can play to their A game, which they've done a lot of the season, they beat Liverpool at home, and if they can get that performance out there, then I think they've got every chance.
I think they deserve it. I think the question of whether or not they'd be disappointed, I think of course they would be disappointed, because they've put so much into it and come so far, and their team are gelling brilliantly this season, last seson. They got some great names.
Let's remember, they only need one goal. They can win 1-0, with their not with their away goals out now. It just, so David Moyes might set up and say, look, don't concede early, don't go at gung-ho, and we can try and get this first goal. Let's just play our way into the game, and then maybe when we do get an opportunity, if you can take it, then we're banging it. And so I think it'd be interesting to see how. And we've got Stuart coming on later. I wonder if he gives anything away, how they're going to approach the game.
He's coming on at 7:30, by the way, so he'll give us his thoughts on Forest last night as well, and West Ham as well on Thursday, amongst other things we can have a little chit chat with him about. Don't forget about Rangers and RB Leipzig. So it's RB Leipzig at the moment that are leading after that first leg as well. Rangers with a job to do, but in a similar fashion, it can be done.
I'm looking at the atmosphere at Ibrox. It's going to be brilliant, absolutely fantastic. And that sometimes, you talk about Everton against Chelsea, the fans played their part. Liverpool in their Anfield, they play their part, and the players respond. So I think Rangers could be very, very similar. But I'm sure the Germans will bring in loads of supporters as well. But I just think Ibrox, this is their cup final now. I know they get through. Of course, they've got another cup final, but if they can get to that final again, like West Ham, and let's hope it's a Rangers-West Ham final. That'd be fantastic. It
could be amazing, couldn't it? We could have Rangers, West Ham, Liverpool City.
Oh, for the British clubs, it'd be amazing.
And Leicester as well.
I'm not sure
in the Conference League.
Yeah, Leicester got every chance as well. Roma 1-1 at the moment, so let's hope they can get a result tonight. They played pretty well in that first leg, to be fair to Leicester. So they've got a chance. But yeah, let's hope Rangers can get a result. I'm sure Alan Brazil won't agree with me there. And let's hope West Ham can get a result.
That one against Roma is on Thursday, isn't it? On the 5th as well. So that one is an 8 o'clock kickoff.
And what's the other semi-final? It's Marseille, isn't it? Marseille, I think they're 3-2 down. Yeah, final 3-2 up.
There we go.
If I remember right.
You were all over the Europa Conference League.
No, I'll just keep an eye out of the results. But the Europa League's been good. I really enjoyed the Europa League. And obviously Champions League's always good, isn't it? So European football's fantastic. I just hope Arsenal win it next year, Laura.
Well, I was going to say, what are you going to do to celebrate if Arsenal finish top four and get back into Champions League?
I don't know really. I'm not really. I don't want to be celebrating it. I don't, because
not too early.
I still think there's a lot to play for, and it's going to be a few twists and turns towards the end of the season. So I'm not going to be. I hope they get in the top 4, and I'm going to put them in the top 4. But there's still a few doubts there as well.
Yeah. Okay, a couple of other stories knocking about. Declan Rice and Eric Dyer were amongst a host of Premier League players who put their London rivalries aside to enjoy a plush bank holiday meal on Monday night at Scott's. So here are the players that were there. Declan Rice, Eric Dyer, Mikel Antonio, Crystal Palace's Michael Olise and Eberechi Eze, and then ex-Arsenal forward Joe Willock as well. What we all missing about Scott's? Is it
Who paid the bill, though, I wonder? Was it a sweep? Was it a game of...
I don't know.
Probably a game of spoof, wasn't it?
Were they all together? That's an interesting mix, isn't it? I wonder, is that what you used to do?
Yeah, spoof. Brilliant.
Every time?
Yeah.
How often
do you
would
play
you
spoof?
be... Yeah.
It's a good game.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't
Great
it?
game.
Never for like a meal, though, just for fun. Just for like a drinking game.
Oh, right,
but never
you can do
for
that as well.
Never for who plays the bill.
You can play for the bill as well. It's quite good.
How often did you get caught out paying the bill?
I've probably paid it before, but it's a great game to play. It really is, and it's there's some good players of it as well. There's some really clued up players with spoof. I know of course it's a bit of luck, but you still got to read people.
I like the way you analyse that as if it was like a Champions League semi-final, second leg.
No, it's a great game. There's lots of ways you can pay the bill.
Like?
What else you can do? You can play drinking games for it, can't you? Where you can play a silly game like we used to play a drinking game called Angle Dangle, which is
please tell me what it is.
you have to just say I'm the chairman. I start it off.
Right.
I say to you, and it's a big circle of us. You say, right, name me. Let's go for instance, championship clubs.
Yeah.
At the moment,
so you have
and
to
I start with one. You start
Yeah.
with, and you go next. You go, and it goes round till someone says it twice, or someone can't say one.
Amazing.
And then they lose, they have to drink, and then it's their subject. It could be anything. It could be airlines around the world for stuff like that. Or
right, we're playing this game later. As soon as Gabby
before
comes
you know
in,
it, before you know it, though,
as soon as Gabby comes in, we've got to play it like we've got to keep it simple.
The worst thing
do
about
it like
that game,
animals or something.
if you're doing drinking games like that, the worst thing about it, if you keep losing, you get worse answers. The answers are ridiculous. We played all the way to Vegas once, and they run out of beer on the plane.
Oh my
At the back of the plane, it was unbelievable. They said, "Please, can you sit down there because we've run out of beer."
When you say we, who was we?
Well, my pals, there's 8 of us. We went 2002.
Teammates?
So no, all my
friends.
all my mates. Yeah, Vegas. What a trip that was.
Did you have mates from other teams that you socialise with?
Not really, no. I would say we went out with all the Arsenal lads, but sometimes you see the players out, other players of different teams, because I think back in the days it was very regimental football, where everybody knew where they stood during the week. You always had Wednesday off, you always had Sunday off, so a lot of the other teams were going out Tuesday night as well. So you would mix in areas where you see the other players of other teams, yeah.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods. Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.